James Melendez, James the Wine Guy. I'm going to talk to you today about the YouTube partnership program changes. Stay tuned. So, I try to always put on a positive face and do my videos, and I'll ultimately bring you respect to every bottle that I'm tasting. And I've had criticisms on that, but that's another story in another YouTube video. Ultimately, what I try to bring to the forefront of my videos is doing a positive message and talking about the positive attributes of a wine. Now, I don't taste every single wine, and if I do taste a bad wine, I tend not to want to highlight it because that's not my brand, and I have so many amazing wines to be tasting that I don't really need to highlight a bad wine. Now, if it's so bad or there's something just absolutely wrong with it, I will bring that out. But ultimately, I've done that a few times. Out of 2,500 videos, I probably have done maybe less than a dozen of those types of videos. It's just not my brand. It's not what I want to do. And ultimately, so YouTube's changes are pretty severe against a small producer, small community creator like myself. Now, that really comes down to, as of mid-January, before that, you had to have 10,000 clicks, which I easily met. Now, where I didn't meet it was, of course, I have 1,000 subscribers. That's the new requirement. I have 1,300. Thank you very much, because you're probably one of those. And if you're not, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate that as well. The other requirement is 4,000 hours viewed. Huge number. Now, that's 240,000 minutes divided by 365 days. You get the idea. Now, when I look at that, you can look at iJustine or Phil DeFranco or PewDiePie. I mean, in half a video, they probably meet that requirement in 2 seconds flat. Someone like myself who produces Evergreen content, and I give that accolade to Sean Cannell, a YouTuber, and that's really important because my content is not to be just viewed right away like the vloggers. YouTube has gotten used to that behavior of YouTube video watchers. Not everyone's like that because there's how-to videos, there's cooking videos, and wine videos like my videos, and there's beer and scotch and so forth. And these video reviews are something that's evergreen. It's going to live on for a long time. The wine is very complex. It's very enjoyable to taste and take pleasure in it. But also its complexity arises from the many varieties. So there's about over 10,300 varieties. There are multiples of regions and sub-regions around the planet that are producing wine. Small producers. There's vintage, right? That vintage is a huge issue because guess what? Wine does taste different from one year to the next. And that's the beauty of wine. That's also the allure of wine, is that it's always an amazing product line, and it does taste different if you vintage something for 10 years versus just released. So my content is evergreen. Now, that shouldn't be a punishment, but ultimately I have a study right here. I'll share that on my slide share. In that study, I show there's about 10 producers. I'm one of them, and I've looked at each of their content, and none of them monetize. Why that might be a big deal? Well, I think it's a big deal because think about the product lines. Yes, you could feature a glass of wine or a allied product such as a, say, champagne opener, which is actually a commercial running on one of my videos. And where would that go live? Well, it could go live on a food channel, but ultimately, wouldn't it be nice to be on a wine channel? Yeah, I think so. And I also think that the community is not risen to, let's tackle video and wine. Yes, it's difficult to do, but it's also enjoyable to do. I wouldn't have done so many if I didn't enjoy it. Now, I also should get paid for it as well in terms of looking at the content that I am producing. Why should YouTube or even other small, many millions of content producers who are doing it for free shouldn't do everything for free? I think YouTube should share what the viewers are getting, or what YouTube's getting, the producer or the content creator should be getting as well. Without the content creators, there wouldn't be any YouTube. And so I do think that YouTube creators are really important. It's evergreen content, it's complex content, and YouTube has not always done the best things in terms of looking at producers like, say, Logan Paul. Now, Logan Paul, a lot of people, including PewDiePie and Phil DeFranco, I think gave a good talking about his bad, horrible video on showing a person hanging in a Japanese forest who just committed suicide. And I think it was completely tasteless and a horrible video. And, there's an article in The Guardian, the London newspaper. I'll put that right here. What's really important about that particular article is, references at, small producers are paying the price for Logan Paul's bad judgment. So what he's still producing videos. His I'm Sorry video produced 45 million clicks. That was probably that Schadenfreude that people really wanted to see that kind of video. I didn't. I looked at all his comments that he's written and people who've talked about it. I don't really feel it's something that I think it's inexcusable. I think 45 million clicks. I think he references this is going to be a groundbreaking video and it's going to be the most revolutionary video. I do, and YouTube should punish such users and not punish the small community. I also think that here's a very interesting fact was that Logan Paul's suicide video was actually one of the trending videos for 24 hours on YouTube. It's really hard to understand how YouTube, no one saw that video. Of course someone did see that video. Did it float to the people behind the curtain on YouTube? I'm guessing it did. And it did because it stayed there for 24 hours. And I can't believe nobody saw it out of the gate, especially their biggest producers that are producing videos. I just find that to be unbelievable. And that they didn't have to see the video, but they, I'm sure, heard about it. And so they did hear about it, but it took them 24 hours to bring that video down. I think it's inexcusable, and it's such a terrible thing that people, small content producers, myself included, are being punished for that. Now, am I going to be continuing to produce videos? Yes, I really want to meet that goal. I have 30 days out. So the email that I got from YouTube was expressly strange. You are notified that you have either 30 days to get to 4,000 views. Is how I read it, but it was pretty much you're out of the program already. And that's not a great way to deliver a message if you want people to still make content for YouTube. And that's, I think, poorly done. I do have a 30-day, like any other YouTube small producer who gets kicked out of the program, has 30 days where they can reapply. Again, they're going to use a criteria of 4,000 hours viewed in the past 365 days. Now, I'm going to ask for your support. I've asked the wine community, and I can tell you the people around me, my family, my friends, wine producers, writers, fellow YouTubers, have been supportive. Now I need to garner and gather that together and to create that community even further, because I think it's really essential to do that. I believe that wine does belong on YouTube. Beer does. Scotch and the spirits do very well on YouTube. Wine does not. And again, I think that's because it's a highly differentiated product. It's a complex product. And it doesn't need to be just me that are producing YouTube videos. There needs to be a whole community that's doing that and doing so actively. Evergreen is important. So I really thank you for watching my videos. I thank you for your support. I thank you for your likes and everything that you do for me. And I'm going to continue this road upward because, basically I can probably be, meeting that criteria at some point in the future. But at the same time, I won't get paid for it. And thirdly, this is not my only job. But ultimately, it's always with YouTube, it's waiting for the other shoe to drop. I think ultimately YouTube really needs to come and understand that all small content is not invaluable. People who produce small content or small content producers are not bad people necessarily, and those that do bad things should be taken out of YouTube. It would violate the user agreement. Really want to be part of your community. If you're a beverage arts producer, a small content producer, I think that's how we make things work together, because YouTube is obviously not going to help anyone out at all unless you're a gazillion hit person and have 5 billion hits. So ultimately, we've got to help each other out as a small content producer. So what I want to do is, write down below any comments you have. Let me know about your channel. And for wine producers, let's work together, collaboration as well, and also other YouTubers to do a collaboration with wine. I think it's to be open, build that community, and really not let this get us down. So thank you for watching. Let's stay connected for more wine content to come, more wine reviews, more wine videos, and so forth. So thank you again for your support. Stay tuned for more. Santé.